G'day guys, men, gentlemen, dads. Module 9, be the best dad you can. They only have one, which they do, and that's you. Alright, so this is your time. You have the ability now to change their lives or if need be, or influence them the way that you want to. Okay, no one else, you. When they're with you, it's your control. Okay? Now, I'm sure that you're a great dad already, caring, inspiring, involved, supportive, all those things that us dads do. All right, we're around the kids, involved with them. Okay, so I'm not saying that you're not, because you already are a great dad. Possibly, hopefully you are. All right, but what I'm saying is that with this one, when you're together married in the same house with their mother, she did things differently to how you would do them. Sometimes, yeah, you know what I'm getting at there. So she possibly was showing them things differently to the way that you wanted to. Okay, for me, one example, my ex-spouse would talk about the kids like they weren't in the room when they were sitting right there, and it frustrated the shit out of me, infuriated me. They're just there, and she's talking about them to her friends, like at a cafe or lunch or somewhere. She's talking about the kids like they're not even there. It's like a third person. They're listening to it, and it used to shit me to tears. All right, I don't do that. Okay, and there's things around the house, I guess, for you, or you can do things the way you want to now. The way that you want to educate them, the way that you want to show them how to do things, the way that you want to teach them to tie their shoelaces or eat their dinner. No elbows on the table, whatever it is. It's you. 100% you. You control it. Okay, so this is so exciting. This is the best thing ever. Okay, you don't have to watch what you say or how you're doing things with your child anymore, because it's just you. This is the positive thing about being a single dad. Okay, it's your influence. When they're with you, it's up to you. Okay, so it's your turn to run the show. Okay, the way you want to. All right, so not that you didn't do before. I'm not saying that you didn't. Anything like that. I'm just saying, but now it's your time to shine as a dad, the way you want to do things. Okay, so let's jump into module 9. Be the best dad you can. They only have one. See you in there. Okay guys, here we are, the first part of module 9, being the best dad you can, and they only have one. So the first point I've got here is they need a role model, and that is you. Okay, so this is going on from what we just spoke about in the last module about improving yourself and becoming better, not only for yourself but your children. So your kids will be seeing you conduct yourself, seeing what you do, okay, seeing the goals you set or things you're trying to achieve, how you conduct yourself, all right? And they are going to emulate you. All right, you are probably the most influential male in their life, okay, if not the. So how do you want them to grow up? How do you want them to think about goal setting or think about what they can achieve? They can go for anything. Okay, so you've got to then, that's the way you've got to act, all right, because they are watching you. They will do what you do. You are always on in their eyes, okay? Now the thing is, nobody does you like you. Okay, so be the best you that you can be. Okay, so that's my little saying for the goal setting and trying to strive to be your best all the time. Nobody does you like you, so be the best you that you can be. You got that? And that is, you'll be a role model. Okay, and that's what we're trying to achieve here. The children want a role model. Right, the children will look for a role model, okay, and they want a good one. All right, so dad, be a good role model, okay? And when they are striving and when your kids are doing things, don't be crushing or don't criticize their efforts, okay? It's crushing for them, for little children. It crushes their drive and their determination, and they're wanting to try things new and get out there, outside their comfort zone. So only encourage, positive words, constructive criticism, and that way always encouraging, okay? And by you being who you are and striving to be better and self-improving yourself all the time, that's what your children do, because they will do what you do. Okay, so that's what I say, like they need a role model and it's you. Okay, so don't shy away from the fact that you are a role model for your children. Okay? All right, next point now. Your kids have one dad and that's you. So go have fun and teach them. Okay, so I know they have one dad, but what I'm referring to now is a stepfather. Okay, now you're their biological father or possibly their closest thing to a real father, depending on your situation, how you got to this relationship that's over now. So if you are, so you're the biological father. Okay, now the stepfather won't count. Okay, he won't be their dad. He's their stepdad. Unless, of course, you let it happen. If you start being jealous and bitter and resentful of this new guy spending time with your kids, and if you shy away and get all bitter about it, then your kids are going to gravitate to the new guy. But that's only if you let it happen. Okay? It's in your power not to let that happen. So you are the dad. And as you know, like half the job of being a dad is just turning up. Just being there when they need you. Just being there when they want you there. Or when you want to be there. Okay, so just be there, like a parent night or a school pickup, a school drop-off. Shopping, little league, baseball, football, ballet, dancing, anything like that. Okay, tennis, whatever they do, just be there. All right, half the battle is turning up. So dad, be there, because they need to know that they can count on you. All right, that's a big part of any child in any family, especially now being a single dad. They need to know they can count on you. Okay, so be there, especially now coming from a splintered family. You want to make it rock solid. Be the rock for them, as I've mentioned before in the previous module. Okay, now I'm saying there, so go have fun and teach them. Okay, what I'm referring to is have fun. It's so important. Go to activities, go on day outings, go to the park, go to zoos, go to the beach, go to the movies. Do things with them. Okay, when you get them, don't just stay at home and do nothing. Take them out and have fun with them. All those things will strengthen the bond you have with your child or children, depending on how many you have. It'll strengthen the bond, okay, that you do those fun things together. It's very important. I mean, I understand you might have your own life, okay, which is what we have our own life, so you've got important things that you need to do. So you just need to time manage and work out ways you can get what you want to get done and also spend quality time with the kids, okay? You can do yours first or do theirs, whatever, vice versa. You can work that out. All right, I'm just saying, spend quality time with them and still manage to get what you need to get done. Whether that's after work or whatever your situation is there. You can even have like a special thing that you do. Okay, it could be like every Saturday or every Sunday morning, or pick a time or something, and you make pancakes or waffles for breakfast. Okay, you go to the park and throw the ball around. Something special that you do together is just you and your kids, all right? And it couldn't be something that you did before when you were in the relationship, or something new that you want to do now, okay, with them. Take them fishing or anything. Just have something special that you do, all right? So pancakes on a Saturday with some ice cream and strawberries and maple syrup. Yum. There's other things that you do, like it's like my boys, when I first moved out into the unit, a little thing that we used to do was like we'd have wrestles on the bed, like Dad, can we wrestle? I'm like, oh yeah, just give me a sec. I've finished preparing dinner or something, and then I just pretend I'm going, I'm tired now, I'm going to go lay down in my bed. Don't come and annoy me. And then you'd hear their little feet come in and we'd wrestle for 10-15 minutes, and then that'd be great time with them. And then they'd go away, then I'd finish dinner and have dinner, it was good. And they got that satisfaction of that little bit of quality time, that contact, okay, that touch and that competitiveness that we have with boys. That was our little thing. For a while, we'd just wrestle. Other times we'd come in from work and we'd do a bit of stuff and then we'd go to the beach. Okay, even after school. Find something special to do with your child or children, okay, that's special. Because my boys are bigger now and we don't wrestle anymore, we do other things. And so teach them, what I'm referring to there about teach them things that they wouldn't get in school, I guess, or you probably assume they wouldn't get, like about road signs and money and debit and credit and what those sort of different things are, current affairs, world news, okay, things in your job, whatever it is you do for money. how you do your money, what do you do in investing. Again, depending on the age bracket of where your child's at, just teach them things all the time. Like I did before about the grocery shopping. Teach them different things in the supermarket. Just explain things to them. Okay, what's going on with political parties and anything like that. All right, just talk to them all the time and educate them. Okay, because this is your domain now, Dad. All right, you do some education at home. All right, don't just leave it to the teachers at school or their friends. Okay, this is part of being the role model. This is your influencing them. Okay, you're as you know, as a dad, we are there to raise adults, prepare them for adulthood. Okay, so educate them now the way you want to. Things that you think they need to know. Okay, and have fun with them as well. 2 key points there. Okay, and my last one here, this is a quote from Sigmund Freud. We've all heard of him. I cannot think of any need in a childhood as strong as a need for a father's protection. Bam! How good's that? That's a great saying, isn't it? I remember reading that a long time ago and thought, yes. And then it came back into my spectrum when I was doing this course, and I love it. Okay, so that's what our job is, to protect them, nurture them, and grow them. Yeah, so that's what I mentioned before about preparing them for adulthood. That's what you need to do. Okay, in all facets of life, about relationships, personal development, heartaches that they're going to have, tragedies and triumphs, anything. Okay, you protect them and you show them and you teach them. Okay, and you make sure that they, along the way, are getting prepared for adulthood, because that's our job. All right, as parents, we need to raise them, and we've got to set them free at one stage and make sure they are prepared for the big bad world. Okay, because as you and I both know, it is a pretty bad world out there sometimes. Okay, and you've got to be able to just give them the common sense that they need to be loving, caring, contributing adults. Okay, that's all we've got to do. Okay, let's move on to the next slide now. Okay, so here we are, the next slide. Time to step up, Dad. Okay, so which it is. It's time to step up. Okay, so be there to pick them up, not to stop them from falling down. Okay, so in this day and age, society is kind of creating this cotton wool sort of mentality or thinking for children, protecting them too much. They're not even letting them do anything. Okay, it's a long way from when I was a child, but that's the way it is. But let's bring it back down to that. Let's what I'm trying to say here is, let them make mistakes. Let them figure it out for themselves. All right, you can give them the boundaries of certain things, but let them figure it out for themselves. And you build resilience in your child as well by saying no from time to time. I mean, we all want to say yes all the time because we want the best for our children. Okay, but I think that's probably doing more harm than good. Because if you're saying yes to your child all the time, it's going to create a sense of entitlement. Okay, and then they'll expect everything all the time. As they get older and start going for high school and university and adulthood and the workplace, they'll expect things all the time. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so we've got to learn to say no to them. And there's a lot of literature and a lot of books and professionals saying the same thing these days about that. So, you don't want to spoon feed them. You don't want to just do too much for them, okay? And, it's because you do. Like I used to try this, and I used to go crazy. I'd be like, I'm doing so much for you. I'm doing everything for you, and it's not enough. And you would think that they're not satisfied. And that's a result of this. They're constantly saying yes. You always feel like you've got to do more and do more and do more. Okay, but that's sacrificing yourself. Okay, and you don't want to do that. Okay, you still want to be able to do what you want to do. I'm sort of a bit off tangent there, but you get what I mean there. And because in this way, if you do that, you could possibly end up resenting them, because we're always doing what the kids want to do. And you can end up resenting them because of the way it makes you feel. All right, and you won't feel good about it. But I mean, you can't, if you've got nothing to do, if you don't want to do anything, then sure, go with the kids, all right, and do what they want to do. but then don't get all bitter and twisted about it and say, oh, I've got to go. You chose to let them take control and want to go to the movies, to the park, and then to the mall. Right? You've given them free reign. So don't get angry at them if you've then suddenly got to go somewhere and cut their little day short. Okay? But you plan the day, and you take them out and you do what you want to do, and they can tag along. Okay? You can just get clear on what you want. Because that kind of thing there that I'm touching on just there, it ties into my happiness, which I speak about in the next couple of modules, where you're too busy doing things that others want and you don't get to do what you want. Okay, so it kind of ties into that. So if you have to ask them what they want to do, don't get frustrated, okay? You ask them, so take them. And you can also do what you like, okay? And what makes you happy. Okay, so what you like and what makes you happy, then you can take them, okay? And they can tag along there. Cool, okay, so next point now. Broken promises rob the bank account. So avoid over-promising and under-delivering. Okay, a broken promise will rob the emotional bank account. Now, I'm going to elaborate on the emotional bank account later on in the next module, the one after that. If you're not sure that you can make a promise and keep it, then don't even say it. Don't make a promise that you can't keep, that you're not 100% sure you can keep. What you can do is try and just say, if they ask for something, you say, all right, well, I'll see if the opportunity presents itself. If I get X, Y, Z done before then yes, we'll go. But I'll have to do this and this before we get to do that. Okay, don't promise you're going to be there, or don't promise you're going to take them somewhere if you're not 100% sure. Okay, it'll rob the bank account. Because, as you know, when you promise a child something, the anticipation that they feel, the excitement they feel, that knowing what they're going to be doing, is sometimes actually better than the actual act of what they're going to do. So that anticipation is just so built up, and they get there and they're like, yes. But if the anticipation's built up and they're so excited about it and it doesn't come through, think about what that does to them. It's crushing to them. Okay, so don't overpromise. Don't break promises that you can't. Don't make promises that you can't keep. Okay? Cool. Routine and structure, all right, can contribute to the development of your child and the security he or she feels. Okay, so routines, it's how families get things done. It's how they spend time together. A routine, it could even be something that, as your children are older, like washing the dishes together. You might not even see your child if they come home from school. If they're older, they go in their rooms on their iPads and iPods and Instagram and Facebook and all this stuff, come together for dinner, and then you can all do the dishes together. Okay, and then after that, everyone goes back to their own little worlds. Or it's just a little routine, spend time together. Because an organised home feels safe and secure, and that's what your children want now. An organised, a safe and secure home, and an organised home will give you that. So, and you want them to have normal daily routines when they're with you. Okay, so make your bed, lunch boxes out of your school bags when you get home, like feed the dog, brush your teeth, all these things, and you get these routines. So maintain the routines and structures. Okay, and everything will become automatic then, because humans, we are creatures of habit. Okay, so if something's done repetitively, it becomes automatic and it's routine, and it's going to create that good environment. Okay, because everyone knows what they're doing, functioning in the household. And the other routine of, like, as I said before, about just turning up and being there, be present in their lives. Okay, so you probably are now. If you are, then keep doing it. And if you're not, if you're not, and you realise that you're not spending as much time with them or developing them as much as you can, then start doing it. Okay, start being there for them. Start giving them the structure that they need and security. Okay, around when they're with you. So be present in their lives. Now, that's one of the things that I sort of wrote down. Be present in the minds of those that you care about the most. So, and in saying that, if they're older, you don't want to be stalking them on their social media. Okay, that's just a bit that's not what I'm saying. I just mean a physical presence, just being there, and I'll elaborate on that a bit more in the next couple of slides here. But another thing too is try and anticipate their needs, okay, whether that's at school or any extracurricular things that they do. If they do karate, making sure that their fees are paid up, when their gradings are on, making sure their uniform is all ready to go. Anything like that, school uniforms, day outings, school excursions where they need a form signed or money paid into the school account. Be organised and be on top of all that. So anticipate their need, short and long-term needs, okay, not just the quick ones. Long-term needs, like could be like a dental plan or something that they need, or something major that has to happen within the next year. So anticipate all their needs that they're going to come across. And if you're setting this example of this organised single dad, then that's teaching them. And it's also, and once you've got them doing their own routines, okay, at your place, it teaches them responsibility. Okay, whether they've got to feed the dog or something, it just teaches them responsibility, and they actually feel like, this is true, that the kids, they will feel like they're contributing to the effectiveness and the structure and the day-to-day goings on at dad's place. All right, and that's going to give them a sense of well-being, a sense of involvement, a sense of accomplishment, what they're getting at your place. All right, kids will need a bit of pushing, a bit of nudging at the start to get them going into the routines and stuff that you want them to do, but just get them going, and then as I said, they'll feel like they're making a difference and helping out at your place. Okay, because all this, it teaches them structure, okay, and discipline, that they've got to do these tasks, all right, and things just don't happen. Okay, you've got to make things happen. Things just don't happen. Okay, this ties back to that whole thing about just saying yes all the time. Teach them no, and they've got to go and do it. All right, so massive amounts of support and commitment, makes them feel comfortable. All right, and that's where you want that safe and secure house. It's your place. All right, and make them feel like they're contributing. Okay, good. All right, well, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so here we are at the next slide. Love languages. Now, I'm not sure if many of you have heard of this term before, about the love languages that all humans really speak and long for. Okay, so understand the love languages and being able to recognize them. Okay, so each person responds to 3 out of the 5 love languages. Okay, even you and me and your children do as well. So we want to try and identify and work out what they are. Okay, so ways to recognize them, ways to action them, and ways to check in and make sure you're doing it right. Okay, so the love languages are, let's go through them now: acts of service, physical touch, quality time, receiving of gifts, and words of affirmation. Okay, so they're the 5 love languages. So your child now, you're probably thinking now, well, my child likes to get physical touch, or he likes words of encouragement. She likes quality time. My girl likes it when I do things for her. So there's all these are the 5 love languages that your child speaks. Now, if you can work this out, if you can work out what love languages your child speaks, they will become more responsive to parental guidance, okay? And it makes it much easier for discipline, okay? Knowing what they are, okay? And your communication with the child will be next level, okay? Which is a big tick with us as single dads, all right? Making sure that communication. So understanding these languages will give you that next level of communication. And as you know, like, having love in their life is so important in raising mature adults. Okay, so I've actually got that from my doctor, he does a parenting course as well. So through him, he said that love is so important in raising mature adults, which it is, and I can vouch for that now to myself. And also because your children are going to go through different ones. It's not just going to stay the same 3 all the time, okay? So I know my boy now, who's 13, now going on 14, he's changing, okay? He's gone from quality time to acts of service as one of his 3. So we used to have plenty of quality time together. We'd go and kick the ball around, but now it's more acts of service and take me here, take me there. All right, so that's a love language that I've worked out that he likes. Okay, so remember that the love language will change, all right, as the children change. Okay. Okay, so ways to uncover your child's love language. All right, so this is what you want to do. You want to take time to discover them and be aware of them. Okay, so how do they express love? Okay, do you love me? Do you help them with their homework? Do they like to have big cuddles with you? Do they say I love you a lot? Do they call you a little nickname? Is it words that they like to hear? Do they like to wrestle? Do they like to play and touch you or muck around, fight? Do they like to do things for you, like go and get your slippers or make you a coffee? You know, the hints and the signs are already there about what love languages they respond to and want to get back. You've just got to become aware of them now, and now hopefully you will be aware of it, okay? So you're able to see it and recognize it. So that's what I mean. So how do they express love to you? All right, 90% of the time, how they express love is how they want to be loved back. Okay, so it's reciprocal that way. Listen to what your child requests for most often, okay? Is it, watch me, Daddy. Did I do good in the game? Look at my homework. You know, that's words of affirmation, all right? What does your child most frequently complain about? Okay, you're too busy. We never play ball anymore. You know, those kind of things, words like that. Then they're looking for quality time with you. Another way to try and help you discover what your child's love languages are, this is the way that I did it with my boys. I gave them an option of two different things. I'd say, do you want to have a wrestle on the bed, or do you want to go kick the ball around outside? Okay, so that's looking at two different things like physical touch or quality time to work out what they want. Should we go to the movies, or do you want or should we get you those new shoes that you like? Okay, again, quality time versus receiving gifts. It's a great little trick to try and work out what your child's love language is. Would you like to fix the skate ramp together? Quality time. Or I do it while you hang with your friends. Okay, that's an act of service. So working on a project together, it's quality time, or just do it while you do something else. I'll do it for you. Acts of service. Simple. So break it down and see what things you can come up with to work out what your child's love language is. Now, as I said, they'll all change depending on the age and gender of your child. Okay, so make it fit with your children as well. Just customize it. Okay, you know your kids. All right, I don't know the kids, so you know the kids. Jot things down, and once you start jotting down, you will see a pattern. Okay, it might take 4 weeks or however long, depending on how much time you spend with them. It might take you a little bit of time, but you jot it down, you'll be able to see it, see the pattern, and realize, okay, so little Macy likes quality time, acts of service, and receiving gifts. You can work it out. Okay, and you'll see the pattern. Okay, and then the benefit to you as their dad is emotionally, it makes it better. It's great. It's fantastic. Okay, it really strengthens the connection with your children. Okay, I guarantee that, and I can vouch for that myself. Okay, so let's move on to the next one here. They will change love languages. That is okay. So I have just spoke about that a little bit before about hinting that they're going to change. Now, when trying to work out the love languages, be mindful they'll go through stages. Okay, so they will go through stages of each of those 5 ones. Don't ignore the other 4. If you're thinking, yes, it's definitely words of affirmation, don't ignore totally the other 4 love languages to speak to the child. Okay, so they will be there. All right, 1 primary one or 2 primary ones, and then a couple of secondary ones. But don't disregard the other ones. Okay. Now, the more effective they communicate, it will affect them in other facets of being a child, okay? And be careful here, because if they're older, they will become aware of what you're trying to do, all right? They will work it out that you're trying to work out a love language, or they'll know what's going on. So they could play on a little bit. They could ask for gifts and iPhones and, and tablets or whatever, or... so they might know what you're trying to do, and then they'll plan a little bit. So try and be a bit, a bit undercover, a bit detective about it, and just see how you go. Cool? All right, love languages is a big one that's going to help strengthen your bond and help you with your communication. Okay, guys, that's it for Module 9. stepping on to module 10 next, which is communication. So I'll see you in the next video. See you guys. Bye.